Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael to clear, cleanse the space, fall negative and lower vibrations from our mind, body, and soul, home, and hearts. We are going to be reading about Indigo Warrior today. And this is a guide for indigo adults and parents of indigo children. And I myself am an indigo, married to an indigo. So I have some experience with this. And I just want to state that being an indigo doesn't make you better than anybody else or anything like that. If anything, an indigo signed up for a very difficult life. You are going to be someone who never felt like you fit in this world because you never were meant to fit in this world. You were meant to come here and make change. And that is not something that has been an easy task your whole life. So as a result of it, you have felt ostracized by everyone in your life because of that indigo light that you carry. So it says, Chapter 2, How do I know if I am an indigo? It says, traits of an indigo: wise, expressive eyes, warrior-like presence, truth speaking, justice speaking, intelligent, angry, powerful, sharp tongue, impatience, prone to addictions, and often ADHD, ADD, or PTSD. And I have ADHD and PTSD I was diagnosed with. My husband was diagnosed with ADD. And all those things pretty much are me. And I have had to work through a lot of that stuff. And it was meant because we were meant to come here and make that change possible. That's why we had to be angry, because there were norms that were put in place that we needed to have to overturn. And so I've been doing that ever since I was a young child, as well as my husband. You're usually the black sheep of the family, if that helps at all. Have you always felt like you've been misunderstood? Like many, maybe you were dropped off on the wrong planet or were just in the wrong family. Do you feel like you had constantly apologized for who you were, or that your energy is too intense for others around you? Have you had times when you wished you were normal? Have you ever been referred to as a bull in a china shop or something similar? Absolutely. I used to get A's in school and C minuses in conduct. And I would be moved everywhere in the classroom because I would literally talk to everybody. And the teachers always were frustrated with me and annoyed with me. You have always felt different one in many instances. Your family you grew up in made it abundantly clear that you were different from them, which led you to feeling isolated even more. You have always been a leader, whether you wanted to be or not. You somehow always nominated to be the boss or just plain enjoy being the boss. You certainly could not handle anyone being your boss. You might have been fired a time or two because you could not take being told what to do for a minute longer. Now that you're your own boss and that suits you well. If you have been a formal leader, you have been a leader in some way, even if it was just paving the way for others by taking the first step on an unknown road. You have often been told that you look too serious or too mean, or you should smile more. I hated hearing you should smile more. I don't know about you. But you might be tattooed, pierced, because it's the best way that you can express yourself. Maybe you've even dyed your hair pink just to stand out. You were aware long ago that you've always stood out, whether you wanted to or not. So you do it on your own terms. You've had a hard time in school. You might have had a learning disability or just general impatience. And I was very impatient my whole life. That was something that I had to really work on the last couple of years. For schools and teachers, sometimes you felt smarter than the teacher, and you might have led to either leaving school or transitioning into a different school that better fit your needs. You are no stranger to a fight. You are not always looking for one, but you fight or fought to protect yourself or people around you. It might even be your job to protect others in some way. You have had a hard time keeping your opinions to yourself. I'm very opinionated, always have been. You have never been told you need a filter in your mouth or need to learn to shut your mouth. I have to laugh, guys, because it's hilarious. It's like reading, about my life. You can sense the character of another person at first sight, and you have little patience for small talk. The injustices of the world make you mad. I don't want to get into this, but any sort of addictive coping mechanisms that you have or other vices. This is not a current habit. It could have been one in the past that you have now overcome, which I have overcome. You have a past that you don't like to tell people about because you don't want them to pity you. Your childhood was dysfunctional and abusive, physically, verbally, or both. You have been, I'm not going to say these words, but you have been abused in different various ways as well. And you may have been told that you're imagining the abuse or tried to tell an adult and they did not listen to you. Absolutely. You may have been in relationships, abusive relationships as an adult. Injustices in this world make you mad. You cannot stand to see somebody abused or mistreated unfairly. You've always felt frustrated. You had no idea why. Your frustration bubbles inside you, and knowing that you have a higher purpose and knowing what that purpose is. So I will leave it at that. I want to continue because I'm almost done, but I'll just read it. Says, you cannot blend in if you tried. You have wished to be normal, but you have never felt normal. You wish to not be noticed as easily as you are, so you've tried to dim your light to fit in. You have been told your energy is harsh or powerful, and you are doing something wrong in just being. You have felt rejected in many ways or a misfit of sorts. You have never truly felt like you fit in. You have a history of relationship problems. You may have been divorced, maybe more than once. You may have moved or changed residences to make it more comfortable for you. You have moved from state to state or country to country because you felt called somewhere only to find yourself right back where you started, and you don't understand why. You sometimes wonder if you were sent to earth to be alone. You'd rather be alone than in a relationship. Makes you wish you were alone. Someday the world feels too heavy. You easily feel like you absorb the heavy energy of crowds. You wonder what on earth you did to deserve to be here, because you know somehow that your soul couldn't have chosen this. At the very least, you know you had to be asked to come down to earth to help others because you couldn't have done this willingly. I think you did, though. I think we signed up for this. If you nodded your head in agreement and perhaps shed a tear when reading some of these statements, you are indeed an indigo. And I am so relieved to have found you and that you have found me, and you are not alone. So indigo started reincarnating on this planet after 1951. When we had a horrific situation occur. And we cried out to God to help, and the indigos came here. It started coming here. Could have came as early as the late 1950s, but most came in the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, and above. So if this resonates with you, welcome to a very difficult life where you're challenged in many different ways. And I love you. Have a blessed day, and namaste.